Most badminton players think they need a partner to get better. That's one of the biggest training mistakes you can make because if you know what to practice, 20 minutes alone with a racket can be more useful than an hour of unfocused games. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to practice badminton alone, even if you don't have a full court, a coach, or training partner. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete 20-minute solo training system. 6 categories, specific drills inside each one, a way to train with or without a court, and a weekly plan you can literally screenshot and follow. Here's the entire system. 2 minutes to warm up, 6 minutes on your first category, 6 on your second, and 6 on your third. 20 minutes total. No complicated program, no 2-hour training session, just 20 focused minutes. Rotate through 6 categories across the week with 1 rest day. The rest of this video walks you through each category, exactly what to do, how to do it, and how to make it harder once it gets easy. Category 1, shadow footwork and movement. Stand at the center of an imaginary court and move to each of the 6 key points: the forehand net, backhand midcourt, backhand midcourt, forehand rear corner, and backhand rear corner, recovering fully to center after every move. No shuttle needed, no court needed either. This works in a garage, a hallway, or a small patch of backyard. Start with 5 repetitions to each corner at a controlled pace. Then repeat the same pattern faster while keeping your recovery position clean. Your priority isn't speed, it's getting back to center under control every single time. The goal is to make these movement patterns more natural and automatic, so you spend less time thinking about where to move and more time reacting to the shuttle. Category 2, wall practice for racket control. Find a flat, solid wall, ideally an exterior wall or a garage door rather than anything with windows or fragile fixtures nearby, since repeated shuttle impacts can be unpredictable and you want a surface that can take it safely. Stand a reasonable distance back and hit the shuttle against the wall repeatedly, alternating between forehand and backhand contact, keeping the shuttle continuously in play. No wall available? Toss the shuttle up yourself and hit controlled overhead shots into open space instead, focusing on clean, consistent contact rather than power. Start with short rallies and build toward longer, unbroken streaks. Once you can consistently keep the shuttle alive, make it harder. Alternate forehand and backhand every hit. Change the height of your contact or move slightly after every shot. The goal isn't power here, it's consistency of contact, since a smash with sloppy contact will never be as dangerous as a controlled shot hit cleanly. Category 3, serve practice. Most players only think about their serve during a match, which is exactly why so many serves fall apart under pressure. The fix is volume, done deliberately. Pick a target zone, whether that's a short serve line for doubles or a specific depth for a long serve, and serve repeatedly at that target. Try 20 serves and count how many hit your target zone. Write that number down. If you hit 13 out of 20 today, your goal isn't to magically hit 20 tomorrow. Your goal is to beat 13 next time. A lot of recreational players never develop a reliable serve not because of bad technique, but because they never repeat it enough times in isolation to make it automatic. Category 4, multi-shuttle self-feed practice. This is one of the most underused solo drills in badminton, mostly because people assume multi-shuttle work needs a coach feeding you. It doesn't. This drill does require a proper court though, so save it for days when you have full court access. Place 5 or 6 shuttles within easy reach on one side of the court. Feed one yourself, play the shot, recover, and move quickly to the next shuttle. Once you're comfortable, increase the number of shuttles or alternate between 2 different shot types to keep your decision-making sharp, not just your execution. Category 5, jump training and conditioning. Badminton is genuinely explosive, full of short sprints, lunges, and jumps, yet most recreational players have never done a single dedicated exercise to build the specific power and quickness the sport demands. Keep it simple. Split squat jumps for lunge power, lateral bounds for side-to-side quickness, short sprint starts for that first explosive step toward a shot. Keep the reps short and explosive rather than turning this into a long cardio workout. The goal is badminton-specific movement quality, not just getting exhausted. If you're new to explosive exercises, start with controlled versions and make sure you have enough clear space to land and change direction safely. But improving physically is only half the equation. There's one category you can train without a racket, a shuttle, or even leaving your house. Category 6, match IQ and mental training. This is the category most recreational players completely overlook, learning to see the game better. 3 things to try. First, study yourself. Film a match or session if you can and watch it back twice. Once for what went wrong, once for what actually worked. Second, study better players. Watch professional matches and try predicting the next shot before it happens based on the opponent's position and the shuttle's trajectory. Training your anticipation from your couch. Third, rehearse your own game. Spend a few minutes before bed mentally rehearsing a clean serve, a well-timed smash, or solid net play. Mental rehearsal can help reinforce movement patterns and decision making, especially when it's paired with actual physical practice rather than used on its own. Now let's make this useful for wherever you actually train, because not everyone has access to a badminton court every day. On a full court, lean into serve practice and multi-shuttle self-feed, since both depend on real court dimensions and a service line to aim at. In a small space, shadow footwork and conditioning both work almost anywhere there's enough safe room to move. With just a wall, racket control work is genuinely one of the best uses of a blank wall in this entire sport. And if you have none of those, you can still shadow footwork and condition in nearly any clear, safe space. Now, here's the part I want you to screenshot. This is your 7-day solo training calendar. Monday, footwork, wall control, and conditioning. Tuesday, serving, self-feed, and match IQ. Wednesday, footwork, wall control, and conditioning. Thursday, serving, self-feed, and match IQ. Friday, footwork, wall control, and conditioning. Saturday, your 3 weakest categories from the week using the versions that match whatever space you have available. Sunday, rest. And on the days you don't have court access, you can still complete a full session using the no court categories. 3 rules will determine whether this actually works. First, quality over quantity. If your footwork gets sloppy or your technique starts breaking down, slow down. Second, track something. Serve accuracy, wall rally length, or clean footwork repetitions. Give yourself a number to beat. Third, stay consistent. 20 focused minutes several times a week is far easier to sustain than one brutal session that leaves you exhausted. Here's something I think a lot of recreational badminton players get backwards. Club sessions are great for competition, tactics, and learning to react to another player, but solo practice gives you something those sessions can't. Uninterrupted repetition of your own weaknesses. Skill development is really more of an individual project that happens to live inside a social sport. The players who keep improving over time tend to be the ones who treat solo practice as homework, something that happens whether or not a coach scheduled it for them. So tell me in the comments, what's the biggest thing stopping you from practicing badminton alone? Time, space, or motivation? Drop your answer below. I want to know which obstacle players are dealing with most. So remember the 6: footwork, wall control, serving, self-feed, conditioning, and match AQ. 20 minutes, 3 categories, 6 minutes each, 1 rest day. No partner, train alone, no court, adapt the drill. No coach, follow the plan. Give this system a few weeks of consistent practice and pay attention to what changes. How quickly you get to the shuttle, how cleanly you make contact, how reliable your serve feels, and how quickly you recover between shots. You don't need perfect conditions to start improving. You need 20 minutes, a racket, and a plan. So find your space, pick your first 3 categories, and start tomorrow. See you in the next one.